A cow's tooth that was dug up at Stonehenge has given archaeologists fresh clues about how the monument's famous bluestones were dragged from West Wales to Wiltshire. So, did cows help to build Stonehenge? The new scientific discovery of a cow's tooth discovered at Stonehenge has, perhaps involuntarily, offered support for a fringe theory that beasts of burden were enlisted to help drag the massive bluestones from Wales to Salisbury Plain. Researchers carried out detailed chemical analyses of the tooth enamel, examining different isotopes of strontium, lead, carbon and oxygen. Because tooth enamel forms gradually and locks in chemical signatures from an animal's diet and environment, it provides a time capsule of where the animal lived and what it ate. In this case, the results revealed that the animal was not local to Wiltshire. Instead, the isotopic fingerprints point towards geological conditions consistent with West Wales, the very region from which the bluestones were quarried. This finding is important because it shows, unequivocally, that live cattle were moved across great distances by the Neolithic communities who built Stonehenge. It demonstrates that people were not only transporting massive stones from Wales, but also bringing their animals with them. Such journeys would have been a massive undertaking, logistically demanding, requiring the herding of cattle over long routes, careful management of grazing, and the organisation of people to accompany them. In short, the evidence proves that large-scale mobility and planning were integral to Stonehenge's story. For many years, one theory has held that cattle themselves may have been harnessed to help drag the stones. While there is no direct proof that these Neolithic animals were used as draft beasts, the discovery that cattle and stones came from the same distant region makes the idea more plausible. If people were already walking their cattle from Wales to Wiltshire, it is reasonable to ask whether those animals might also have been employed to haul the heavy bluestones. The seasonal changes recorded in the tooth enamel suggest that the cow was alive and working through the year, and that its life included physiological stresses such as calving. Such an animal could conceivably have been valued not only for meat or milk, but also for its ability to pull cargo. Of course, it remains possible that cattle were present for other reasons. They may have been driven to Stonehenge for feasting, forming part of the great gatherings that accompanied monument building, evidence of which have been found aplenty at nearby Durrington walls. Their movement may also have been symbolic, reinforcing the cultural link between Stonehenge and its partially Welsh origins. Even if cattle were not literally pulling the stones, their presence demonstrates the scale of human and animal effort invested in the Stonehenge project. The new research was published in the Journal of Archaeological Science in a paper titled Sequential Multi-Isotope Sampling Through a Bos-Taurus Tooth from Stonehenge to assess comparative sources and incorporation times of strontium and lead. Part of the paper also reinforced the potential ritual significance of the animal to the site. It read, "The remains of this elderly animal were found buried at Stonehenge. It is not known if it travelled to Stonehenge alive, or if its remains were curated and deposited there. However, it is possible that the animal held some significance to the population, as the cow probably died 55 to 270 years at 68% probability before being placed on the bottom of the ditch, and may have been curated. The mystery remains as to how those bluestones were transported to the site of what would go on to become Stonehenge, but this new study certainly provides some evidence to support the cow-dragging hypothesis. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe. And you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description, or via YouTube Super Thanks. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.